Today we're going to spend a couple minutes and go through a question we have from a potential user. So Danny, he's a startup founder, and he asks, can my competitor copy my technology or product? And there's a difference between what the law prevents you from doing and what you may think is moral or right. So most people think that you're not allowed to copy what your competitor is doing, and that's not true. The only thing that can prevent you from copying what your competitor can do is intellectual property rights that they might have. So in most circumstances, if you encounter a product and there is no protection on it, intellectual property protection on it, you have every ability to make an exact copy of it. And many companies, that is their business model, is why hire a lot of engineers or developers or scientists to figure out what the next big product is going to be. You can simply go out into the marketplace, see what's available, see what you can manufacture inexpensively, see what you can have proper margin on. Maybe you have existing distribution channel. Maybe you don't see it in your country. Many companies have that exact same model. And what prevents that from happening is intellectual property protection. The model where you see what's out there and you quickly develop it is called a fast follower model. Is you see what's successful and you quickly follow that success without having to invest in the trial and error associated normally with producing an amazing product. So how do you prevent the fast follower? Well, in that situation where you have a startup, you're thinking about developing something, patent protection becomes very key. As you look out into the marketplace and you'll see that it's not delivering or solving some particular problem, so you will work to come up with the solution that makes sense by whatever metrics make sense in that industry, and then you want to protect that innovation or change. And for many products, companies will actually mark on the product or on their website or with the material that comes with the product what patents are associated with that product. So you can very quickly see that they're solving this, providing the solution to the marketplace. Here's the patent that protects that. And sometimes that patent provides, a complete block to a commercially reasonable alternative. Often it doesn't. It depends on the product area. With many things, there's 7 different ways to solve the problem. And if you can think of a different way of doing it that doesn't infringe their patent, you're perfectly well entitled to release that product to compete, right? That's one of the purposes of the patent system, is to see what they have protection on and see what they don't have protection on. And you have every right to produce a product that is outside of the scope of their protection. What I always recommend for particular products is you might file a few patents, right? Or you might have claims. Claims are the things, the kind of the legalese that defines exactly what you're protecting. Is you might have different claims that go after different aspects of an innovation. Then when I was working on today for a client, they had about 4 or 5 things that the patent office had allowed, 4 or 5 different ideas around their product. So we decided to kind of split it out and have claims on each of those 4 or 5 different approaches, so that if a competitor wants to release something, they have 4 or 5 things that they have to avoid. And there are many strategies along those lines, but they can get very expensive if you're not careful, because IP protection is so expensive. So the short answer to Danny's question is that generally you can copy whatever you want to copy, unless there's an intellectual property right stopping you. So patents are the big ones, but of course there's trademarks that protect the name. There's trade secrets if you were given information that was not public. They might have trade secret protection to that information that they gave you, traditionally locked up by contract. Trademarks, you can't copy their names, right? Or derivatives of their names or anything that's confusingly similar to their name. Copyright protection, certainly the code has copyright protection. The manuals, the literature, the marketing materials that come along with it also have copyright protection. But if you can steer clear of all of those issues, absolutely. That's what innovation and entrepreneurism is all about. You know, I would love it if I could find a product that does everything I need done and can do it cheaper than these other people, right? And certainly capitalism works in that way, is to encourage people to solve those problems.